Hey guys, it is Miki-sama Unlimited, and the August ban list has finally been announced. It was announced yesterday night, and I decided to tackle it, but I didn't want to tackle it last night because I didn't have really good lighting, so I said, let me just tackle it in the morning when I wake up, so I was like, okay. Now, getting on into this ban list, I'm going to give you guys not only just the cards that obviously got hit and changed, I'm also going to give my overall discussions and opinions on the ban list as well. If you would like to see me do another ban list related video in the following month, don't forget to like the video. 800 likes is the goal, because I always do a certain segment per month, and based off the like ratio, I continue doing a segment or I cut the segment. So spread the word, like the video, and sharing is caring. So thank you for watching, and we're going to get on into my ban list discussion and opinions. Starting up, we have PERFORMAPAL MONKEYBOARD. MONKEYBOARD happened to be one of the best fucking pendulum cards to ever exist in the game, because you basically play MONKEYBOARD and you search out basically a free pendulum and then you just go from there. Personally, Joker and MONKEYBOARD turned out to be the best, and then Joker got limited and MONKEYBOARD got limited. But seeing MONKEYBOARD go to banned is something that's very understandable. It's basically the generation where Tour Guide was the best, like XYZ with Rabbit. They got nerfed. When I look at MONKEYBOARD, I actually see why it got banned, and it's understandable why it got banned. So I think that Konami did well with banning MONKEYBOARD. The final card to get banned is KAISER COLOSSEUM. Now, KAISER COLOSSEUM is one of the things that really, I actually don't mind. I actually really never liked KAISER COLOSSEUM. I think it really shuts down your opponent's plays, and it's just an unfair card to begin with. I never liked it, because I didn't like it back in the day just with Bujin format. But personally, I understand why they would want to ban it, but I don't know why it would not get limited. Because this was a card that went from 3 to banned, which is something that you kind of don't see, something that goes unlimited to banned, especially something that's been so outdated like KAISER COLOSSEUM, because that card hasn't been around and done anything in God knows how long. So that was a little bit of a shocker for me. I understand and get the concept of why they would want to get rid of it, but I don't understand why banning it was the main decision to go down, because I understand why it's a good reason to limit it, but to ban it, I don't really see a need. Everyone nowadays has Twin Twister. You could even Galaxy Cyclone this guy, so I don't really see why this card would desperately need that ban. Limit, I get. Ban, not so much. So now getting into the limited card. Seer of the Burning Abyss. Seer, in my opinion, was a pretty lame shot at Burning Abyss, because let's be honest, Speedroid Burning Abyss is obviously still going to be one of the best decks, because hitting Beatrice and Seer is not really going to nerf the deck. I don't understand why. Never mind. I'm just going to say hitting Seer is a good hit, but it's not enough to make an impact. That's all I'll say about Seer being limited. The next card to get limited is EHTHER, the Heavenly Monarch. Now, EHTHER, after seeing the whole list, I don't see why hitting EHTHER was really worth it, because I get that the deck has done a lot. The deck has won a lot, and the deck has done its job in Worlds, Nationals, Regionals, so they had to hit the deck at one point, so I get why they hit it, duh. But as for hitting EHTHER on top of everything else they hit, I thought that EHTHER just didn't need to get hit. In my opinion, I didn't think it needed to get hit. The next card to get hit, Cosmo Dark Destroyer. Now let's be real honest. I like Cosmos, and I've been playing Cosmos as one of my higher tier decks to play. However, I don't want to come off biased, but I might come off biased either way. But in my opinion, I didn't think Cosmos desperately needed the hit. I personally think that Speedroid Burning Abyss deserved the hit, and hitting Terratop would have been a good hit, or Dante. But seeing something like Dark Destroyer get limited, I mean, I get why. I mean, the deck is good. The deck's good. That's all I'll say. The deck is really, really good. It has a really quick OTK. The deck has a lot of potential, but at the same time, it's not that that deck desperately needed the hit, because there were just so much more threatening decks out there that were running amok. We've had Dante for, I'm pretty sure, close to 2 years, so I'm surprised that Burning Abyss has had this long of an impact on the game, and it's shocking that probably another 4, 5, 6 months is going to go by where Speedroid Burning Abyss is just going to ravage everything. Alright, next is Magispector Unicorn Kirin. Now, Magispector Unicorn had to fucking get hit. That was one of the cards that I even said on my prediction list, that card needed to fucking go. That card shut down so many plays, and it was just a card where, I mean, like myself, of using Constellar Pleiades every minute, I just know when you're putting your opponent in a position where you're constantly fucking with their board during their own turn, it's really hard to get around. And unlike Pleiades I can only use once or twice. As for Unicorn, you could just keep putting it back in your hand and redoing it to your opponent every turn. Same thing goes with Apex Avian, but Apex Avian's a little harder to bring out, as Unicorn's pretty easy to bring out. But Beatrice, I personally think that should have just been swapped with Dante, because people could get off and go pretty far with just one Beatrice. As for Dante, if Dante was limited, shutting down that one Dante play would really screw that deck up. Beatrice at 1, though, it only takes 1 and the 3 Dantes to get the ball rolling, so I really think that this was a waste of a time nerf, because it's that if Dante was hit instead, everything would be fine. Hitting Beatrice is like no different. I would lose to Burning Abyss and Speedroid Burning Abyss all the time, and all my opponent would need to do is play one fucking Beatrice against me. Then Emergency Teleport to 1. Emergency Teleport is basically also to hit the whole Cosmo engine, and yet again, I think that hitting that deck was not really like what desperately needed it. But yet again, it could just be my biased nature, but I think for a deck that really wasn't doing that much of an impact in the game, especially during Worlds, if you looked at Worlds, I'm like, what the fuck was the deck doing? It's like the deck wasn't even really there. The next card is PANTHEISM of Monarchs. I completely agree, PANTHEISM had to fucking go. That card was busted as hell. Happy it's gone. Next, Pendulum Call. Actually, I think I predicted that, but I really am grateful to see Pendulum Call go. I did not like Pendulum Call. The whole thing that made Pendulum Call, in my opinion, too crazy was the immunity that it gave those Pendulum's cards that turn, immunity from destruction. That's what made me say nope to Pendulum Call, because let's just say you use Pendulum Call, discard, get your 2 pendulums, you play them, and your opponent aims to Twin Twister. You can't even do that because they have the built-in immunity, and that's what I think that pushed Pendulum Call to being too busted. Then the last card to get limited is the Monarch Stormforth, which I have said for so fucking long. The whole concept of using Stormforth with Ether during your opponent's turn was too crazy. It had to be nerfed. It had to be taken away. Except I didn't think that they were going to take away Ether and Stormforth and putting them both on limited. But personally, I think that if just hitting PANTHEISM and putting Stormforth to 1 would have just been enough for Monarchs to just die down. But they wanted to take a step further and hit Ether. So I don't really see how Monarchs can really bounce back from it. If they can, good for them, but I don't think that they will. Now for the semi-limited cards. Now we have Maxi to 2. Personally, I think that is one of the most strangest nerfs that I've ever seen, because for me, that I play Maxi and I love Maxi, and if Maxi was limited, I'd feel really bad. But I think if Maxi was limited, not many people would play it, but Maxi at 2 would make me want to play it probably a little bit more. But I always kind of played 2 Maxis, and I'm pretty sure the whole community is just used to playing 2 Maxis. 3 Maxis is just a little much anyway. The next is 2 Thunder King Ryos. I've been pushing on that for so fucking long. I've been saying it so many times, why can't Thunder King Ryo come back? Like, what is that card really going to fucking do? And the truth of it was that it was not going to do anything. So I'm happy to see it, honestly, come back to 2 and just go up, and hopefully in the next list it just goes to 3. Then we have Wind Up Magician, and now I think that that's a little fun. Wind Up Magician going back, because I remember the Wind Up Insector spellbook format, so seeing Wind Up Magician come back to 2 is interesting. Do I think it could compete? Obviously, Strike's still at 3, so not really. I don't really see it doing much, but it's going to be fun to see what they could do. And next for the unlimited cards, we have Thousand Eyes Restrict. Thousand Eyes Restrict didn't do anything. Everyone could just basically just say, I play Instant Fusion, bringing out Suck a Monster, and in the end phase it's gone with Thousand Eyes Restrict. I didn't really think Thousand Eyes Restrict was really going to do anything either way. So seeing Thousand Eyes Restrict going to 3, that's kind of nice to see. Went from just limited to 3 because even the game saw that like it wasn't doing anything, so let's just bring it back to 3. Next is Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness, I guess also with the concept of hitting Cosmos as much as they did, keeping Allure of Darkness at 2 really wasn't that important. Seeing Allure at 3 is actually pretty good. I mean, nowadays everyone's using the other pot card that just banishes the top 10 cards of your deck. Who the fuck really cares about Allure of Darkness at this point? And then the last card to get unlimited is Gold Sarcophagus. Yet again, I don't really think Gold Sarcophagus was really doing anything and desperately needed to come back. Gold Sarcophagus, it was just at 1 for so goddamn long, and then I'm pretty sure they put it to 2, and now it's finally back at 3, so it's just nice to see Gold Sarcophagus back. It's not like it was ever really much of a tech to most players, and if it was ever in a deck, it was a deck that really focused on the banishing aspect. So that's really just overall my opinions with the ban list. I really wanted to tackle it. I always tackle the ban list every time when I see it. I personally want to say that I like the ban list. I like how they hit Monarchs. I like how they hit Pendulums, and hitting Magic Spectre made me happy. I personally am just a little disappointed for 2 qualities. I'm disappointed that Burning Abyss is still running rampant, and the second thing that I'm a little disappointed in is I always, every ban list, look forward to at least 1 card coming off the list, and they didn't really give anything back. So that's the only thing that I was like, that's a little disappointing. Other than that, I enjoyed the list. I'm surprised it took Konami this long to do it. I mean, come on. It took fucking forever. But I'm just overall happy to see it. I'm happy to play in this new format. Leave your opinions of how you felt about the ban list in the comment section below, and like the video if you haven't already, because like I said, it's greatly appreciated, and I hope that you guys all have a great day and a better tomorrow, and subscribe if you're new. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. See ya.